In Merry Wives of Windsor, Falstaff cries, "Let the sky rain potatoes!" For Shakespeare's audience, this wasn't just silly, it was startlingly new because the potato had only just arrived in England. So let's find out exactly what the story was that brought them there and why people would have found potatoes funny. Potatoes had only just arrived in England when Shakespeare wrote this line in Merry Wives of Windsor. They were this strange, exotic plant, and nobody knew really what to do with them. There were experiments all around, from growing them as floral plants in your garden so that the greenery coming off the potato was something beautiful, to using it in different kinds of dishes or trying to cook with it. People really weren't sure how to approach the potato. They were sometimes grown for their flowers. They were even used as medicine. John Gerard, in his 1597 herbal, printed the first illustrations of the potato, though he thought it came from Virginia. So you'll see in his illustrations, he names them the Virginia potato. And to audiences, potatoes weren't an ordinary food. They were this cutting edge import that was this new sort of exotic, what do we do with this type thing. To find out more about how potatoes were seen and used in Shakespeare's lifetime, I sat down with food historian Sally Cunningham to find out more about what the reception was for potatoes when they first got there in Shakespeare's lifetime, and how they went from being brand new to being a joke in Shakespeare's plays. Here's what she had to say.
The story goes that Drake first tried the potato apples, the little fruit that you get on. Of course, they made him sick. And so he ordered the gardener to dig him up. And it was the gardener that first found the roots were edible. But I think that's just an urban myth, because obviously he imported them knowing that you ate the roots. So I think that's unlikely. But they were considered very expensive food items, and of course because of this they were considered aphrodisiac. That's where that bit in Falstaff comes from, kissing comfits and eringios. Eringios were sea holly, which is a plant you get by the British seaside and probably bits of the American seaside as well. It's more or less the whole northern hemisphere, and it has these long tap roots which, if you've got a dirty mind, are slightly penis like. And they were sold candied as sort of the Elizabethan version of Viagra. So potatoes were up there as something to be for king's feasts and entertaining your lady love.
Falstaff's sky raining potatoes line is more than just a joke. It's this snapshot of a new world of food arriving on English shores. Hear the full conversation with Sally Cunningham in our podcast episode on the sky raining potatoes, and I'll place a link to that episode below this video. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.